Alright, got Universal 7, Magnetic, Wise You, Divine God, West Coast Wise, The Wordsmith, Divine Truth, Knowledge. Everybody, just everybody take some time right now to do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. Share this on your pages. Get a Facebook. Yeah, that's what you said your name was yesterday. Yesterday you said you West Coast Wise. But share this on your Twitter and your Facebook text message. You know, we have to do our own. We have to send out our own notifications. Love will manifest. 793rd. Where's real hip hop? Majestic. John Adams. We're gonna get real hip hop today. Got my the app. Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with that. The uh the app still is still saying for some needs to register on the app on YouTube. For alkaline water. There you go, real hip hop. Did someone call you? A Truth. That's that's not the same. A Truth. That's not A Magnetic, bro. Where you from? Hmm. Be righteous. That's where you rest at now in Cream City. Real hip hop. What degrees your knowledge? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see right now. If that's what we're talking about. Knowledge. That's why I asked him if that's where he rests at now. Is that where? All right, yeah, yeah, I know him. All right, you was at the last 2 degrees in the student enrollment yesterday. Yeah, I know we talked on IG Live. You see, you one of those brothers that gotta gotta stay on top of you. See, now you starting to lollygag and lack. What about you, Allah will manifest? What degree you on? Yeah, real hip hop because you know you gotta progress along. See, because see when it says Allah come in His own good time, you gotta be ready for your time, not just because of you, but for everybody that's around you and everybody that that comes after you. So when it's time to pass off the baton, right? It could be for any reason. If it comes time for me to pass off the baton of teaching, right? Are you gonna be ready? The law will manifest say he's on the knowledge degree in the 140. He's making some progress. Where's oh man, why is you I know why is you what degree was the law will manifest on last time? Yeah, well, you gotta be ready now. The mathematician. Yeah, that's the same the law will manifest from the class. A, peace A, welcome to the channel. Do the each one teach one, hit the like button, subscribe. All right, so yeah, wise you. I knew wise you was gonna be on point, but so yeah, you still got some work to do there. The law will manifest. You said the building you see going on is very formative to the world. I'm just telling you, man. You know, one of just the primary things, the very most primary of things, and one of the easiest parts is memorizing 120 and learning how to quote it. Like out of all the other things you got to do, you know, it's one of those things that seems the most difficult in the beginning. You know, if you listen to Brothers Bill, brothers going through science you don't understand, they quoting degrees, you know, you might be on the 1 to 10, you might be on your alphabet. And you hearing brothers quote the wisdom build degree, the build destroy degree, you know what I'm saying? Then that might make you a little bit apprehensive about, uh, how I don't know what that was about, but that might make you a little apprehensive about how easy it's going to come to you to be able to quote it. Hold on for a second. Like, oh nah, I had to fix the camera. See, I'm over here in the classroom today, just mixing up the scenery a little bit. It was a brother supposed to come. I don't know if he might have thought somebody else was going to be teaching today, and when he saw me, he got a little apprehensive. But like Justice is saying right here, as you get it, it starts to roll off the tongue. You don't even think about it; it just comes out. Yes, uh, that's the level that you got to get it to. But that's the easiest part. Khalik Asil. Yeah, see, now when you actually got to live it out, that's when you start to get to, uh, some degrees of difficulty. Like, believe it or not, man, y'all are making it more difficult than it is. Like, all you doing is memorizing. See, trying to come to the full understanding right now, you're not going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're not going to be able to read books on chemistry, right? And master physics. So you could go read a book about the history of Iraq and, books about, deoxyribonucleic acid and all these different things, but it's not going to help you understand 120 until you know 120. See, a lot of things, you get caught up, you letting your ADD, what do you call it? You letting your ADHD, because, you read one line in 120, and that one line has layers and layers of information in it. And you get caught up, in a certain layer, and now you off and, you researching it. That's not going to help you understand 120. That's not going to make it so that when you, building in a cipher, somebody's going to say, oh, you're not lip professing. Somebody's going to say, you know what you're talking about. It only makes a difference when you know the whole 120. Like some things just work that way. In order for you to understand what a part is, you got to understand what the whole is. Like if you take just one bone out of your hand and leave it on the ground right there, and a person don't understand what a whole hand is, they don't understand how it's broken up into bones. You might think that little bone right there, that must have belonged to a little mouse or something. You got to know the whole thing and know how it fits together in order to begin understanding. He said the only hard part for me is explaining my culture to others around so they understand and don't get confused or feel threatened. Yeah, you don't know the whole thing. See, right now, the only thing that can happen, see, this is what I'm saying. You a wise and logical synopsis. I guarantee you it's wrong. I can tell you right now it's wrong. And the entire time, and I mean, it's I guess it's a natural thing. I guess it's a natural thing because, you know, it's something that I've seen a lot of people do. The God Abi said, did Elijah know about DNA before it was classified as such? Uh, Elijah manifested some things that uh, it wasn't the accepted scientific theories at that time. he manifested some things that wasn't known 100%. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can say that DNA has shown and proven at least one thing. He when they did the knowledge to the genome, the human genome, they determined that all blonde-haired, blue-eyed people descend from a common ancestor that lived 6,000 years ago. So you know, there's things that's known, you know, especially when you know when you saying did a person know about this or a person know about that.
I'm getting ready to leave, Doctor.
All right, no doubt. You know, there's levels and layers of it. So you know, certain things about genetics, uh, you know, dominant and recessive traits was already known at that time. Queen Mecca, they finally let one of your comments remain. But you know, all those things, man, I'm telling you, you just sidetracking yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you wise enough to make a synopsis of the whole 120 and you don't even know the whole 110, right? Then what the hell are we doing? I mean, clearly, we might as well all just stop what we doing, and then worship you. Because how you manage to do it without knowing 120 when the rest of us had to know 120? Queen Mega, you know the whole 120 on cap now? Since when you got it on cap?
Peace.
Peace, man.
How's everything?
I'm building what's going on with you.
It's been, I usually, well, years ago I was getting teachings from seniors. I'm gonna lock up the front here, right? I'm just saying, years ago I was getting teachings from seniors, but I haven't been back in a while.
All right. What year was that?
2015, 2016, 2017.
Hmm. So, how far along you got?
Not too far.
So, what you recall about, you know, the coaching and everything, you know, about what you learned brings you back?
What about it brought me back?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think how to best word myself, but I'm always seeking knowledge, so I guess the ability to learn something here always gonna draw me back.
Mm. So, when you say you seeking knowledge, like, like you're just a seeker of knowledge, or is a certain kind of knowledge? Like, what is?
Mm, I guess I'm a seeker of knowledge. I love to learn.
Mm. So what do you remember from what you learned here during the years you was coming with Sunyas?
I remember my mathematics for the most part. I remember most of the alphabet. Um, most of the basic teachings that I was getting.
So how do you see the mathematics?
Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, power, equality, God, build, born, cipher.
Now, do you know what mathematics is?
What do you mean? Oh, science?
Right, mathematics means science. But do you know what it is? It's the, you know, like when you deal with different sciences, it's the science of something.
I'm gonna say no because I don't want to answer the wrong way.
It's the science of everything in life. You understand what I'm saying? So, what do we use supreme mathematics? How do you know how is it used? What is it used for?
I want to say understanding.
You can gain understanding by you know the study of the mathematics involved with everything in life. To see what we use mathematics for, right? To see the science of everything in life has it come from an idea all the way to being born, right? So that we could all see it out right here. Just like a baby had to go from an idea all the way to 9 months in order to be born out here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mathematics is the steps and stages that you go through to bring an idea all the way to reality right here that everybody can see. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's important that you know it. You know what I'm saying? Now, what about the alphabet?
That I don't remember as much as my mathematics, but I remember some of it.
How much you recall?
I could try to go down the alphabet.
Do it.
It's Allah, be or born. C is it divine. E I think would be earth. No?
Equality.
Equality, yeah. Is F father. G would be God. Is it he or her? I. Justice. Is K king? King. Love, hella right. Master. And I want to say now, but I feel like that's wrong.
No, man, it's not.
No. O, would O be cipher? P would be power. Q would be queen. R is righteous. I forgot R.
Ruler.
Ruler, yeah. Ruler. Savior is S. Truth. Universal. Or you. You. I want to say victory, but that is victory. Okay. W. I definitely forgot.
Wisdom.
I was wisdom is X unknown, or is unknown. Y would be Y. And zigzag zig for Z.
Yeah, you did pretty good job of remembering that. You know, definitely got to sharpen it up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, do you realize what the alphabet is for?
Would it be the same thing as the letters? I mean the numbers?
No,
Then no.
you know, the alphabet is the way, you know, the universe communicates in a way, right, that you can see mentally,
Mm-hmm.
right? In order for us to communicate in a way that's verbal, right,
Mm-hmm.
we need a particular kind of language like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a particular application of mathematics, so that because see right now, like when the sun shines on us or whatever, right,
Mm-hmm.
and then we respond a certain kind of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a communication that's going on naturally. You understand what I'm saying? When we breathe out, and the trees breathe in, and they breathe out, and then we breathe in. That's a certain communication.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
You can't see it, but you know what's going on.
Right. So now, in order for us to be able to communicate that between people, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order for us to pass those ideas, we need a language, a particular kind of code, right? And anytime you're dealing with a code, you're dealing with mathematics. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the way we communicate that code. You know what I'm saying? Or communicate through that code so that we can pass the ideas. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that with, one person learns, then they can communicate that to other people. So that's what we do, like for instance, this right here being civilization class, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to communicate, the way the universe operates together when we say knowledge, wisdom, understanding, someone, stuff, man, woman, and child,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know what I'm saying? Each one of those units, they communicate with each other in a specific kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So what about the lessons?
I never got that far. I never actually received them. When I was coming to seniors classes, I was like off and on whenever I could make it. Like, sure.
So what did you get when you said you remember the basic teaching?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh, when I was saying that, it was just verbal stuff that I picked up on sitting in class and
Yeah, what kind of stuff is that?
uh, I can't like really tell you specifically because there's like so much knowledge from so many places like I can't pinpoint it, and it being so long ago. But I do have it written down in a journal that I was bringing at home. A lot of the stuff that I was learning.
See, one thing about our culture and the way we do things,
Mm-hmm.
right? See, we keep as much knowledge up here as we can
Mm-hmm.
because life itself is like chess.
I love chess. Play chess any chance I get.
Now, see, the difference between chess and checkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is in checkers, you got one piece, two moves.
Mm-hmm.
See, in chess, you got all different kinds of pieces that move all different kinds of ways. And you got to know how all those pieces move in order
To utilize them the way that you need them to be
you see
utilized
what
in
I'm
order
saying?
to achieve your goal.
Yeah. So you got some people they might be real good with the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So they could,
It's easy to be good
yeah,
with her.
right. So they could take out certain amateurs maybe,
Mm-hmm.
But when you really get into a high-powered game
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know how to use all the pieces,
It's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna trip you up.
you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so you gotta look at that same thing as all the other knowledge that you haven't. You know what I'm saying? Like rather it's the knowledge that all right, that brand of water right there is poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just have that written down at the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that up here, or you're gonna end up drinking, or you might end up drinking that water.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um, Back then I know I was writing one because I've heard that writing things down help you to really
They do.
memorize it and internalize it.
Mm-hmm.
So one for that purpose, and two, so I could go back later and recall. But I see what you're saying.
See, that's another kind of communication right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is you know physically just observing like there's certain things where you know if somebody was to say, look, give me directions to this place over here, you might only went over there a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really give straight directions, but if you go over there and you see the landmarks and everything,
Mm-hmm.
you could go back. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the same thing. You got other forms of memory besides just hearing something and memorizing it or reading it and memorizing it. You know, now if you hear it and memorize it and read it and memorize it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's two different ways that reinforce each other.
Yeah.
So see, like that's one thing when you see us building with each other and we building in the cipher and all of that, you got two different forms of memory now here. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now the actual action of your mouth forming the words,
Mm-hmm.
that's another, you got something called muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where all this different memory reinforces itself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's an excellent way to record things, but you just gotta realize that, when you deal with the condition of the original people around the world, right? And even a lot of the colored people around the world, is dealing with lack of knowledge. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we've seen uh, that you come to the point of lack of knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is they separate you from that knowledge.
Yeah.
Because see, if you got it on cap, they can't separate you from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of imperative in the things like right now, right? Suppose they come in here and say, look, you know, they come in and tell us that, look, I was in the supermarket earlier today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody in that supermarket came down with coronavirus, and being that you was in there, now we got to take you to quarantine or something, you know. And being that you was in here with me,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you got to go too. See now, what we know, right, and how we react to that, right, and if they got us in there, how we react to being in there, how we interact with everything that's going on, could mean life or death for us. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's imperative that you have some things on cap. Like just in general, even if it's not 120, like if you move on to whatever other way of life, you know what I'm saying? It's important to have some things on cap.
Yeah. One of you asked me what's one of the lessons that I got here that I learned here. I never forgot that one time I was here and I heard some of the gods speaking, and one of them said, well, I don't know if they said it directly to me or if I heard it like in conversation, but you never forget anything. Everything is always up there. You just have to access it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, now you're dealing with the the conscious level, the subconscious level.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, the different levels of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? You know, that you want to be, in order for you to deal with the highest levels, you got to pull things from the subconscious into the conscious. You know what I'm saying? Because see, what starts to happen with stuff like that, right, is it becomes difficult to get an understanding.
What you mean?
Meaning, like something might be telling you this thing or that thing. That could be something in your subconscious mind, that you having a reaction to it. You walking over here and you just something ain't right about it. You just what I mean. You don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
See, how do you know what to do about that? Unless you could pull that into the conscious mind and be like, yo, I know why I don't like over here.
Mm-hmm.
This is who I was when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be able to pull that, then you can make a decision whether you want to, remain around that area or whether you want to leave. So this is why, we put in the time of studying and quoting. You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, all of this stuff that we reading, whether you reading whatever holy books, whether you reading 120 lessons, right? The important thing is for you to recognize the elements in these stories, right? That's in all these books. For you to be able to recognize these elements in the life around you. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in real time. So if somebody comes in your midst, right, and they're Judas, you want to be able to recognize the characteristics of Judas.
I think I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah.
I would say.
But see, now listen, there's other stories in the Bible, right, of people who, for instance, you have Isaac, right? Now, Isaac was fooled by his wife and his son, right, into giving the birthright to his second son instead of his oldest son, right? But Isaac was blind.
You talking about physically or mentally?
Exactly. See, in the story, it's just telling you that he was physically blind, so he couldn't really see who it was.
Yeah.
Right. So then he reached out and he felt who he thought was his oldest son, and he knew that he was hairy. But the mother and the second son had already thought about that, and they put some type of fake animal hair on him or whatever. So then he thought that was the son. But see, it's what you said. That see now around us right now, if we mentally blind to what's going on, we could be fooled by the people that's right there, the closest to us.
Definitely know that, experienced that, seen it.
Yeah. Now, if you see it enough times, right, then by the time you get 60 or 70, then you'll be able to recognize it before it happens.
I'm trying to do that way before then.
See, and now that's why you study, right, your lessons to to very, fine to the, down into the grains of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because if you, study it well enough, right, and see inside it, right, and see inside yourself, right, you'll be able to recognize it without having to get burned how many other times. See, that's why they say old people is wise.
Mhm.
Because they've seen
Experience.
right,
Is the
they've
best
seen
teacher.
yeah, some but see, you can experience things, right?
Mhm.
Like I said, through looking at those stories and looking inside yourself.
Yeah. You take the allegory of the story,
Yeah.
the moral of the story, and adapt it for yourself.
And so yeah.
Yeah. I never read the Bible myself, but I hear it's amazing for that. Like, it's all allegorical, and like you can, it's not meant to be literal, but like you can take the lessons from it and.
Well, what kind of tradition did you come from before you
Knowledge yourself.
started coming around here?
I grew up Roman Catholic. My family was Roman Catholic. They from West Indies, Trinity.
And they never read the Bible?
No, they read the Bible. I just never read it on my own,
Oh.
by myself, like as an adult or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to.
Well,
just for the to decipher it and.
Now, one thing I tell you, right, is you got to read the King James version in order to, match it up with 120 lessons.
Okay.
See, the Roman Catholic Bible, that's a different Bible.
Okay.
See, because the all these different, these Bibles and all of this stuff right here, right, they're all, one, one element that they all trying to achieve is to identify a certain people, mainly themselves, as the chosen people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Roman Catholics, they was trying to, show that the emperors of Rome was the chosen people.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And then you have to go through the Pope in order to achieve whatever is just salvation. But then you get the Protestant Reformation, and then from there you get, like, see, they had, about the Council of Nicaea, right?
No.
Well, that's where they got together and decided what was going to be in the Bible and what wasn't going to be in the Bible and how it was going to be interpreted.
You mind if I write that down? Council of Nicaea.
Yeah,
Certain things.
Yeah.
I know you told me to keep it up there as much as possible, but some stuff, I really, really don't want to lose later.
That's how you study. You got to write things down.
Council of Nicaea.
Nicea.
Nicea.
Yeah. Now, you also have something called the Hampton Court Council or something like that.
So
right?
just like this, just like the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah. But it's for the King James version of the Bible.
Those are the ones who.
Because, they wanted this was going to paint the British people into the story, at a higher level.
You said the Hampton what?
Hampton Court Council. And that's where they decided what was going to be in the King James version and what wasn't going to be in there and how it was going to be interpreted. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, because it's a little bit different mission uh, that they was trying to accomplish. You're gonna see some differences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Catholic Bible got 81 books, to my knowledge. The King James version got 66 books. So, and I don't know what the other, uh, what is it? The other 15 books. I don't know what they say.
Probably the reason it was kept out.
Yeah, it probably was stuff that that they felt like this is being put in there by the Roman Catholics. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of representing for the Roman Catholics. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily the British Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, they had to write their own Bible, and in that Bible, it justified the things that they wanted to do, or the things that they wanted justified.
And just like hearing that is like they both Catholics, but they divided in how they're gonna go about the same thing.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It was a particular. He was a priest named Martin Luther.
I heard of him.
Yeah, and so for whatever reason, Martin Luther became disillusioned with what was going on with the Pope, and he kind of challenged that authority that the Pope had, because the Pope was wilding. You know what I'm saying? Where they was selling like tickets to heaven. You know what I mean? So you could do whatever you want to do, and then when you get to the pearly gates, you're supposed to just use your ticket. You see what I'm saying?
They still type doing that today in churches all over the place.
Why would you put that on cash flow, Dollar? But so him becoming a renegade priest or whatever, and then certain people uh, followed him and his movement, and that became what's called a Protestant Reformation. You see what I'm saying? So just that's a little background on the Bible. You know what I'm saying? If you never read it, because the Bible is that way. You know what I'm saying? Where the vast majority of people in my travels that have read the whole Bible are not Christians.
What are
they? These are the people that they might have read the whole Bible, from like your standpoint. But yeah, when you're a Christian, uh, so much emphasis is put on the holy people that you just end up taking their word for it. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what the Bible says, and what it means.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the preacher, he takes you through certain scriptures. You know what I'm saying? And then certain other scriptures that he don't take people through. The average Christian don't know that that's in you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you tell the average Christian, right, that it says in the Bible, ye are all gods and are all children of the Most High, right? Mm-hmm. For the most part, you're gonna have to show them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what's in there, and in general, they don't have a way to interpret it, so they not gonna accept us in it. You know what I'm saying? But and when I was a Christian, I studied very little about Christianity. You know what I'm saying?
Was born into it.
Yeah, outside of like I said, whatever the holy people, the authorities in the church decided.
I was never too heavy into church, but it feels like, or it looks like, they tell you certain things at certain times to tailor their point, what they want you to know at certain times. So he'll read a certain scripture when he wants to get something from that scripture across. Like the same way, like how I want to read it to like learn and decipher. They use it to tailor and sway the crowd that they preach into to a certain point that they're trying to get across. They use it. They use it to their advantage. Basically, what I'm trying to say.
Well, they got probably a 1,500-year history of that. You know what I'm saying? Where just like I was saying, it's important to have things on cap.
Yeah.
They spent from at least the fall of Rome, keeping the people ignorant in order to, maintain their power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where the only knowledge that people had, the education, like Harvard began out only giving religious degrees. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, they first were just giving religious degrees. You see what I'm saying? So, and anybody that presented some type of knowledge, you know what I'm saying, especially if that knowledge was, something outside of the scope of Christianity, right? Then, those people paid the price. So, you got your people like, Galileo. It's people we heard about like that, but it's other people too. You know what I'm saying? That question the merits of the religious doctrine. You know what I'm saying? You pay the price for that up until like what they call the Renaissance and the Enlightenment and all of that. Then you get people, that's when kind of this age that we in now, where science has become a certain kind of religion too. You see what I'm saying? Where not to say that science is not based on facts. There's no facts involved, but when you can no longer accept that science could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? Just not because it's inadequate, but that is the scientific method. Is that we go through trials, we test things,
get new knowledge and adapt.
Right, and then we learn from those experiments, whether we was successful or not. You know what I'm saying? And then we continue to expand our knowledge and let it grow through the scientific method. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So at any given point, we could find that we might have thought that we reached the full conclusion of this line of research and experiment, right? But that may not always be the case, and when you can no longer think of that as a possibility, then science has become a religion for you.
I always said science was like the best explanation for what's really going on, you know. And that science, you can never really disprove science, really, because science uses itself to prove itself. So, like, if the foundation is wrong, you're building up on those foundations off of the wrong base, you know. And it's always going to use other science to prove its point, so you can never disprove it. So it's always science is like.
Well, see, there's the opposite side of it too.
Hmm.
See, because when you have it, when you have something that coincides, right, on all these different levels, then that kind of proves that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I see what you're saying though,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you get into what they call the soft sciences.
What soft sciences?
You see, the hard sciences is like physics, chemistry, biology. These is hard sciences where it's hard evidence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like even if they wrong about the measurement of how strong gravity is, it's still something that's making people. It's still a reason why you won't jump off the roof right now. You understand what I'm saying? And that is hard evidence. You know what I'm saying? When you hit the ground, you see how hard it is.
Yeah, for a fact, yeah.
You
jump off the building, you're gonna fall.
But then you got soft sciences like psychiatry or something. You understand what I'm saying? Now, those things, it's like you said, it's a pure just, well, you know, why you saying that? You know, that's my assessment to that. Like, there's no, you know, like biology, for instance. You know, if you break your arm and you come in, it's going to check out on all those levels. When they say, look, can you move it around like this? You know,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
When they look at it in the X-ray, they're gonna see that you know you got a separation there in your bones. You know, all of that's hard evidence, as opposed to the soft sciences. You know, sociology is like a soft science. You know what I'm saying? Where, like you said, the logic is, you know, it can become circular. I don't want to say that there's no truth to the soft sciences, but you know, a lot more of it is interpretation. So, for instance, uh, you know, like social science, uh, let's say like there was you know, it's documented that you had a drop in crime, right? After the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Different sociologists, right?
We'll try to explain why that is.
Right. And they have all ways, right.
But they try to prove the same thing.
But see, at the end of the day, you can't really disprove it. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you could just show that, look, it's evidence that this also was a factor in that happening. You understand what I'm saying? You know, like, see, for me, from my perspective, my study of my sociology of it, is that you know, people just got tired of smoking crack and dope was played out. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what happened. You understand what I'm saying? You know, those 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 two substances just caused an anomaly in the black community, in the black family, in the, you understand what I'm saying? And so during that anomaly, you know, one of the things happened was, you know, you saw an incredible rise in crime. You know what I'm saying? It's other things too where, you know, you got a generation of people, you know, more people started going to school
around that time.
Now, starting from after the civil rights era, once they mandated, you know, people started focusing more on education. Like if you go back to those generations of people that was growing up in the 40s and the 50s, a lot of them left school, you know what I'm saying, by the time they was teenagers to work. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, but once you got to a point in time where it was a little more, so these people, when they had kids, they had more finances to take care of the kids. You understand what I'm saying? So, there's a million things we could go through and say that. You know what I mean? But they got the one guy is a guy who has a theory that it's because of abortion. That being that abortion came in at a certain time, it was less unwanted and neglected kids. And you know, in his theory of it, it was the unwanted and neglected kids that was committing all the crimes. You understand what I'm saying? So, and with each one of those things that I said, it's like, well, yeah, that's true. You understand what I mean? You really can't say it's not true. You know what I mean? But it's those are soft sciences.
Okay. I was going to say something too while you were speaking, but I forgot it.
So what kind of prompted you to come back?
I forgot my whole response. I was holding something for a minute, and then it just like, I have a mind that like it kind of races. It like has like a million thoughts at once. Like sometimes I lose a lot of thoughts. Well, I think I lose a lot of thoughts, but
yeah, that happens to everybody.
yeah.
But I don't know. It might not happen to everybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in everybody's head. Yeah. So like you said, somebody else might be traveling at another rate that.
Yeah, but I like that you say that though, because I'm always wary of people who speak with a certain amount of I want to say certainty all the time, like they know for sure every single thing that's gonna happen or did happen or would happen. Like you have to leave some room for question, I believe, with or some room for space to learn or
yeah
to be wrong or
See, knowledge is infinite.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And this is something when I was because this I broadcast live on the listen, but
that's not Facebook, right?
this is YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, can you send me the YouTube link when you upload it?
See, sometimes, right, we see in cycles happen over and over and over, right? And now,
so D Christian. Peace and black power. But see, sometimes we see in cycles, right? And the cycle is happening over and over and over and over and over and over, right? And then we end up getting caught up, right? And not seeing the tiny differences.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So let's say right now, today is your born day, right?
Mhm.
You know, this is November 24th, 2020 though. This is not the same as November 24th, 2001. You understand what I'm saying? And see, we might, you just, oh man, it's just November 24th. Nah, it's not just November 24th. You see what I'm saying? There's things that's constantly changing and that flux around us. So no matter how wise you is, right, about the things that have already occurred, there's things about the environment right now that you gotta observe when you're trying to come to an understanding of things that's going on right now.
Can I say that one more time?
There's things about the environment, right, that's changing constantly. And you have to be able to take these things into consideration when you're trying to come to an understanding of what's going on right now or what's going to go on in the future.
All right, true.
You see what I'm saying? There's things that, you might even take for granted now, but look, there was no YouTube in 2001. There's no iPhones. I don't think there was no Androids either.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't know how to, if you don't know how to, activate with that stuff being around you right now, you'll be lost. You see what I'm saying? There's different ways that just like all the molecules that's around us, right? There's different ways that those atoms have configured over the history of time. You understand what I'm saying? Like the atom that's right here, it could have been joined with some other atoms and been a different substance before. So, all of this is constantly things you gotta be doing the knowledge to. You can never get to the point, so like I said, we know the science of everything in life. But once you think you know everything, you gotta get away from me.
Yeah. There's always more to be learning.
Yeah. Plus those type of people just I don't want them around me.
Yeah, same.
You still ain't thinking about what you want to say yet?
That last thought? That's in the wind. Unless unless I get a prompt like the landmarks. Sometimes that happens. Like something like will come back around and like, oh, that's what I wanted to say, and then
Nah, see, that's just you gotta remember that thought is traveling at a certain speed. And I was asking you too, though, what what prompted you to come back right now? Was it, like things going on in the atmosphere that you was like, this kind of knowledge or wisdom might help you to understand it better?
no, not necessarily like one specific event or anything, but I've been meaning to come back for the longest, but just I say scheduling and life. Like that's just excuses, but I've been meaning to come back for a while. I just say.
You see, that's why you know, you know, you got to get the knowledge, right, and put it up here. And then once you put it up here and you begin to understand it for yourself, because one thing you got to remember, and that's what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? We teach anybody who want to learn, we tell them, all of us, right? But we're not preachers. We're not rabbis. We're not clerics. You understand what I'm saying? See, the way they operate, you got to come back and see me every second and fourth Sunday so that I can give you some more of my understanding. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be able to come up with your own understanding so that, see, even when you go out there and you get immersed in the mainstream culture, you know what I'm saying? You're still able to come up with your understanding. So that's another reason why we give you the 120 for you to learn it for yourself. See, like I said, like I said, with the Christian church, the years went to days, they kept the literacy established.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't even read the Bible for yourself, even if you have it.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's a power tactic. It's a power.
Exactly.
The power is it's not true power because it's based on trickery and deceivery.
Right.
If the people ever woke up to that knowledge, then their power would be no more. Their power relies on the ignorance of the people.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Not true power.
And so that's why you got to get the knowledge so that even if you're somewhere and you by yourself, you still elevate. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to be where it's like, when you're not around, whoever's the people that's telling you the science of this, that now you don't know what to do.
No, I definitely do the knowledge on my own as well, constantly.
Yeah.
Well, try to.
But with this particular knowledge, it's a specific way you got to activate it. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of hard sciences is that way. You know what I'm saying? Like if a dude did brain surgery 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying? And that's the last time.
You can't just jump backwards and try thinking.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and so it's a specific way that you got to practice medicine.
Constantly building it up so it strengthens.
You understand what I'm saying? So by the same token, it's a particular kind of way that you got to stay in tune, you know what I'm saying? Or you end up, that because it's easy, to be, for your culture to be overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? In this mainstream culture right here. That's one of the things that these mainstream cultures is designed for. Is to be able to overwhelm, especially when you get to the point of what we got now, right? Politically, what they call nation states, right? So in a place like America, where the different people that's here, their ancestors who came here came from a certain background or different countries in Europe, regions of Europe, regions, continents, all different places. You got people here, correct? So this kind of American culture has to overwhelm whatever, or those people ain't assimilate. Like you see communities that's like that. You know what I'm saying? Where the people is not assimilated, but generally speaking, the mainstream culture overwhelms all of those smaller subcultures, right? And a person just ends up blending right in. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. Is the same thing can play out with us. You know what I'm saying? With this particular knowledge, is that we go out there into the atmosphere, and the mainstream culture overwhelms us into you know living that way of life. You know what I'm saying? Instead of uh, you know keeping our values. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a culture is. You know what I mean? It's a set of values that the people share. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about a group of people that practice a culture, but you as an individual is a group of values and principles that you kind of have. You know what I mean? Like uh, you know, the taste, the kind of foods that you like or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's a value that uh, is propagated by a culture.
Yeah, I always say your normal is taught to you. What you see as normal, the things you do and don't do. It was
right. You see what I'm saying?
Expressed to you.
Like when like I just went to Jamaican restaurant. Now you might say Jamaican as opposed to Italian when you're talking about restaurants, but I'm saying, you know, Jamaican people don't eat Jamaican food. They just eat food. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Italian people, they not thinking, over in Italy, like, yo, why don't we have some Italian food?
Yeah, I never thought about it, why it was specifically named for a certain people.
Now, yeah, like I said, in America, because you got so many different types of restaurants, that you say, yo, we're gonna go get some food. Yeah, we might go get pizza. We might go get, chicken and broccoli. Yeah, we might go.
Well, even though that would come from somewhere else, but that's synonymous. Americans kind of took that over.
That's the Irish restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, all of that's the values that's being, propagated by that group of people. You know what I'm saying? But when you come in tune with other values, you know what I'm saying? In you can take one thing like capitalism, right? There's a whole set of values that go with that. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of thing that's like, yeah, we can get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? And the principles that we have of the things that we should do, like you get up every morning and you go to work, at a particular time and you do what you gotta do over there. You know what I'm saying? But, in the course and in the midst of that, do you go over today's mathematics? You know what I'm saying? Do you quote your degrees, even if it's just to yourself? You see what I'm saying? In order to maintain your values. You know what I mean? That's how people remain. That's how they don't become assimilated. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, earlier today, the brother was talking about the Hasidic Jews. See, they still dress like they dress in they got them clothes in like the 1400s or something. You understand what I'm saying? They still dressing like that now. But see, like the Amish people, they dress like it's 1650. You understand what I'm saying? In order to maintain their values, even in this society right here. You know what I'm saying? Now, for them, of course, this is a little bit stronger because they got their own land and all this stuff like that. But even maintaining their land, maintaining their way of life as farmers, you know what I'm saying? All this is how they maintain their values in the midst.
In the middle of
Right.
everything.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
That brings me to the Greek peace. Peace out, free boy, Allah from Cleveland.
Nate,
Peace. Peace.
That
brings
Medina.
Medina, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that brings me to something I was just building about. I heard it was something I read that Dumas said, and he said that the father, he said, the father said that the law said that your freedom can't come from the hands of another man. It got to be developed from your culture. Meaning your way of life, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's the only thing that's going to, when people see that you, people respect people they see automatically, see them together, they do things together, they got a certain way they do that time, you know what I'm saying? Wherever they at, they can live like that and exist without nobody really, you know what I'm saying, bothering them for real. People will encroach upon you, but they less likely to if they see it's 100 of y'all going to school at this time. Y'all do things at a certain time, at a certain, you know what I'm saying, at a certain pace. That's what culture is based on. It's your system or your way of life. You know what I'm saying? It's the system. It's a systematic thing where like you do things. You have certain customs. You know what I'm saying? The way you go about things. You know what I'm saying? That distinguishes you from everybody else. How can you tell a Jew? How can you tell a Muslim? You know what I'm saying? They have certain things without you even speaking to them. They have certain things that distinguish them from everyone else. You know, you identify them based upon what you see. Oh, they from them over there. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that distinguish us from every other said nation is what we do every day is we utilize supreme mathematics. You know what I'm saying? All other they got their own thing that they do that identifies them. The thing that identifies us is supreme mathematics and alphabets. You know what I'm saying? And we say that it's not only it's supreme because it's the most high of them all and it's universal. That it's applicable. You know what I'm saying, to all the other said nations. You feel what I'm saying? But it is unique and distinct to us. You feel me? And that's I was just thinking about that too when I was drawing up today's map earlier about wisdom culture. The wisest way of life. The wisest way of life. Wisdom is your speech and your actions, right? You know what I'm saying? Wise words and actions. And your culture is your way of life is what you do every day. So who got the wisest way of life? Who was successful? You know what I'm saying? Who's successful? Who had an established way that has been successful over periods of time? You know what I'm saying?
Peace.
Who had the wisest ways of life? We did because it was based on what made the most sense. You feel what I'm saying? At the moment, that's who survived. You know what I'm saying? And maintained and preserved. See, wisdom is also decision making. Who was the wisest of them all?
So how about that? Did you get to the meaning of any of the supreme mathematics? Because you know that's what separates supreme mathematics from arithmetic, right? Is the meanings.
I've got it, but I can't recall it exactly.
Yeah, see, that's the most important part.
I don't want to say it ignorantly.
But that's the most important part. Now, see, I'm gonna tell you another thing. You know, there's some things, right, that you might be able to learn it, you might be able to perfect it even. You know, kind of maybe mentally. And there's some things that don't matter. Look, like you could read 100 books on swimming. You're not gonna learn how to swim until you get in the water. You understand what I'm saying? And that's gonna require, you're gonna have to deal with trial and error. You know what I'm saying? So, when you dealing with the mathematics, right? You can't be, you don't want to just be talking willy-nilly. You want to base things on knowledge, but you can't be afraid to be wrong. You see what I'm saying? Because the only way that, just like when you see a baby learning how to walk, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to fall sometimes, you know what I'm saying, just to understand that's not what to do. You understand? You're gonna have to, bruise yourself up, not make it to your mission where you was trying to get over there, and then you would get everything down pat. You know what I'm saying? But it's actually no way, other than that to learn it. You know what I'm saying? Like you might see, uh, sometimes it might be a harsh reaction from some brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? If you say something wrong, but you know that's also just a part of it. You know what I'm saying? What I tell people is, look, if you've been in this knowledge for any length of time and you've never been bombed, then you've been around the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, or you just like you like a sideline cat. Like you somebody that we see you walking around, but we never actually, you know what I'm saying? You never actually, you like a yes man or something. You understand what I'm saying? But uh, we deal with the scientific method. You know what I mean? So just like we said, you know, uh, you got to realize that sometimes you're gonna, you might get something wrong, and then you got to take that back to the laboratory and you know do that experiment now and control for that factor. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference. When you're dealing with just the basic interaction between the elements of it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, like, if you take 2 plus 2, right, it equals 4. You see what I'm saying? Just like wisdom plus wisdom equals culture of freedom. You see what I'm saying? But wisdom plus wisdom equals culture of freedom means a lot more than just 2 plus 2 equals 4. Those is just a certain quantity. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's different from the qualities, right, that those principles represent. You know what I mean? When we say knowledge or wisdom or understanding or culture, right? So that's why it's important, man, for you to know what it means, because then that's how you can begin to decipher everything that's going on around you. Because when you know the quality of wisdom, right, then you're able to see wisdom everywhere that it exists around you. You see what I mean? Because of some things, you know, like you study your books or whatever, you might see where it said, as above, so below. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't really know the string that ties them together, you understand what I'm saying? Like, sun, moon, and stars seems like something totally different than man, woman, and child. Yeah. Until you see the string that ties them together, is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You understand what I mean? So that's why you got to know the meaning so that you can look at that sun, moon, star and say, oh, all right, I see what this is in this equation. I see what this is in this equation. I see what this is in this equation, right? And then we could look over here and say, oh, all right, yeah, this is the same thing as that, but in this equation. And this is the same thing as that, but in this equation. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to know the principles that tie these things together. Because, especially right now, if you're noticing, a lot of things is going on around us right now where, uh, you being able to recognize what's going on, right, through, knowing which principle everything around you represents can save your life, man. It could be life or death. You understand what I'm saying? Like, whether you go out to a protest or not, and who's the people you choose to associate with, whether you decide to stay or leave, keep pressure your life.
Yeah. I was in a situation like that too, a couple years ago.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But right now we see that the pace of that, the speed of it, you know what I'm saying? The way things is happening, you're gonna have to make use, of these principles in order to be successful. Successful at just surviving.
What's your physical degree, Lord? How old is you?
28.
28.
You?
I understand the wisdom on 32.
It's 28.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have you don't have a lot of cushion.
What you mean?
Like, say, like when I was getting knowledge, right, I was a kid, so I had a lot of more cushion in terms of what I was responsible for. You understand what I'm saying? At that time, I was mostly just responsible for me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, me getting the knowledge at that time and developing it, that was, me developing me was that what I was responsible for. You know what I mean? And also what I was responsible for in terms of, just penalties and rewards in life. You understand what I'm saying? When a kid, you can make a lot more mistakes that you can't make. You know what I'm saying? And you might have other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, by the time I was 28, I had 3 kids. You understand what I'm saying? So, I didn't have the same, leeway there to experiment. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, the older you are, when you come in tune with this knowledge, the more you gotta lock in with it. You know what I'm saying? The more you gotta buckle in, even in terms of, like we saying with a culture, you know what I'm saying? Uh, once you've grown up with the values they so deeply ingrained, you know what I'm saying? That, that's why with different things, like we was talking about church, you know what I'm saying? The church people, they try to ingrain that in the children, as young as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? The Christmas plays and the songs and the speeches and all that stuff. You understand what I mean? They try to ingrain that in you so that is natural to you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But when you come in tune with something at an older age, and it could be anything. Like if you started boxing right now to be a professional boxer, most boxing people is gonna say, yeah, but he's not he's not gonna be Floyd. You understand what I'm saying? Because Floyd grew up during that 8, 9, 10 years old. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of the things in there is natural to him. So if you was to start boxing right now, you would have to work that much harder. Like with Floyd, he might go to the gym 2, 3, 4 hours a day. You gotta be in there 7, 8 hours. You understand what I'm saying? To even, begin to, because when you learn something, right, your brain actually changes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Your brain is a part of your nervous system that runs all throughout your body. You understand what I'm saying? Like when one of the things that happens, like if you're doing something, right? Say you boxing, right? The nerves in your brain actually develop in the places where you need to do those movements. You understand what I'm saying? The nerves in your arms and legs develop to the specific points where they can move the muscles that you need moved in order to do the movements. You understand what I'm saying? So a person whose brain started developing in that way when they was 8 or 9 years old,
It's gonna be more
that
advanced.
yeah, because first of all they growing while they already growing. So it's nothing for it to grow like that. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to when you get older, your growth has slowed down in general. You understand what I'm saying? That's why when you see, uh, you might watch a sport now. Like if you watch basketball, you see the little guys. They move around because it's less of them for those nerves that have to cover. Yeah, that's why it take like tall people. If you notice, it takes them a long time to gain the muscle memory because their muscles are so much bigger. You understand what I'm saying? But little people, you see,
It's much more efficient. It's like
yeah, right, yes, it's easier for that type of growth, right?
Message to get through to the rest of the
Yeah,
body.
and right, you got all of that's got to develop.
it's like electricity. Like the brain is this center of your nervous system, and all your nerves are connected through your brain, through your spinal cord. They run all throughout your body like wires. So every movement I make, it originated here, but you seen me move this, but it started. How fast do you think it took that signal to get to this point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, but only your mind can detect that
Yeah.
because that's what it is. You don't notice how fast it is until you can't do it no more. Then you like, damn, man. I remember I used to just go like that. Now you can't. Now you got,
The stuff you take for granted.
right. You see what I'm saying? That's when you notice, because there's nothing else for you to measure it against. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about the speed of thoughts. You understand what I mean? There's nothing else for you to measure it against. You see what I'm saying? So it's not until you can't do it no more, then you can detect what's the difference.
Yeah. And to add on to that, not only that's one of the examples of all our minds moving at a much more rapid pace than any other kind of demand. You know what I'm saying? Is when you look at sports. Look at how fast we run. Look at how we jump. Look at how hard we hit. Look at when you start studying the nervous system and anatomy, you learn about different types of muscle fibers. You know what I'm saying? While certain types of athletes are more strong or pop coming off the line or hitting the home run, because our brain capacity is much greater than a lot of people's. You know what I'm saying? And I heard a person, he said, man, the only one who can possess the mind is the black man due to the fact that his brain capacity has no limitation. Meaning that when he said mind detect mind, it's a certain level. It's a certain level of the mind that other people can't tap into and activate because they don't possess all the components to get there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes the black man's mind supreme. You see how we dance, how we do everything with a natural ability like that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that can't be taught or bought. You can't even find out why. That's what they ask when you see the commentators, Michael Jordan. They just say, How does he do that? How does he do that? It's mesmerizing and wondering to him, you know what I'm saying? To see us in action. Yeah, and that's an example of what we teach about the black man being a supreme being, and that's on a physical level.
And sports is a good example because you have to change your thought at the most times at the
Absolutely.
snap of a finger.
Absolutely.
The ball flying this far.
Absolutely.
The ball doesn't go where you think it was going to go. You got to change
They
it
got
the
the
direction.
sports science show that show you how to cross over, how to the angle, how fast Steph Curry's release is on the jump shot, how the slither that Floyd Mayweather got to get around the jab. This is the brain function at a high rate. The mind function at a high rate.
See that? Don't forget that. You know, it's the same thing with mental science too. You know what I'm saying? That see sometimes, you know, because we see the image of the sports all the time, right? Then if we see an original man that has accomplished something mentally, right? Or something that's not athletic, we would be shocked. You understand what I'm saying? Like you be surprised, like, oh snap, yo, brothers won that run. Yes, like yeah, you goddamn right, brothers won that run. You understand what I'm saying? But that's what it means, man. On all the planes, man, from highs to lows.
The ingenuity. That's the difference between, you feel what I'm saying? We look at things that white people have built, like you see skyscrapers and all these, you know what I'm saying? But the ingenuity, the creativity that we have is what separates us. You feel what I'm saying? It's the original thought, the idea, all the things that we come up with. That's the difference between something being created and something being made. You know what I'm saying? Something being made meaning that it was manufactured out of something that was already here. It was made, it was manufactured. It was created, it was originated. You know what I'm saying? It was original, it was first. You know what I'm saying? We was the first ones to come up with everything because we were the first ones on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is a derivative of that.
See.
That's the mental and the physical aspect.
Try that going on over here. Y'all, so over here doing some side rallies. Don Bishop in here with y'all. Mecca, are you involved in some side rallies? Oh man, I already know I missed too much stuff today. I can't even go back. Idwo Kemp-Quimpa. We from Idwo Kemp-Quimpa. I think I see you on I think I seen you on Instagram. Oh, I see what it is. The wordsmith is in here practicing. He's in here practicing words for his new book. I see the wordsmith is in here practicing. He's in here practicing some of his terminologies for his new book. What's the book called again, wordsmith? The English language according to the wordsmith.
But he speaks the anagrammatic. He speaks the anagrammatic tongue. You know, that stuff makes you think though. Uh, you know, I'm not good enough at the regular English. I keep telling you to get into the anagrammatic English. But yeah, we got the wordsmith over here. That's he's working on his own dictionary. He's working on his own dictionary with the English language. Or is that a separate language? Wordsmith, is that a separate language? Wordsmith, yeah. Do you have your own language called wordsmith, yeah? What happened to everybody's it? Everyone's quiet like a church mouse in there. But you know, that's you did. So you got any questions about what we went through so far today, or you know, even anything that you have from before? You got any questions?
If I wanted to receive 120, how would I go about that from you?
From me?
I know they say you have to choose your teacher, basically, and that's what I was learning from Sunyas.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you I've been meaning to come back, and I know he usually runs on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I work in a school, and then on Thursdays after that, I work on a podcast. So like my Thursday is completely booked up.
What kind of podcast you got?
It's not mine. I just shoot video for it. It's called Eight at the Table.
Eight at the Table? What kind of program is it?
Black. They talk about like love, sex, relationship type shit.
Mm. Yeah, that's it. But well, for me, you got fast 3 days.
I've done that.
All right. You know why you fast 3 days?
And what I do know about fasting is the emptier the stomach gets, the clearer the mind gets. You clarity basically.
You see, the brain has what they call a top priority. You know what I mean? So when your blood is oxygenated, you know what I'm saying? Your brain is that's the primary organ that's going to get the blood flow first. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you take in nutrients, your brain is the primary place where these nutrients go. So, you know, even if you see people, you know, that's unfortunately malnutrition, you notice that their head is still the same size, but their body atrophies. You understand what I'm saying? Because in that situation, the body diverts the nutrients to the brain. You know what I'm saying? You know, and digestion is one of the things that the body does that it's like, okay, now a lot of your blood and everything and the nutrients has to actually go into digestion. You know what I mean? So that's why when you eat, you know, especially when you eat a lot, then your body, you know, you get drowsy because your body's like, look, I got to take the time. I already got the brain to deal with, and I got all this food to deal with. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so when you not eating, right, and you're not having to divert, your body's not having to divert energy to the digesting process, right?
Focus all
Then,
over the brain.
right. You see what I'm saying? You know, um, once you go past 3 days, you start getting too far, especially if you don't gradually work your way up to it, right?
And when,
You got to remember the brain is a part of the physical body too. So if starving yourself, if you're not taking no nutrients in, after a while, it can begin to affect the brain the other way. You know what I'm saying? And then you become less good at processing ideas. You know, that's the reason. You understand what I'm saying? You see, it's also about uh, learning the difference between, the mind's power and the body's desires. You understand what I'm saying? So when we say that, we have all of these powers mentally, how have you shown to prove it? You understand what I'm saying? Just like, you see somebody and they got, arm, leg, arms, head, right? But how do you know that person could walk?
you see it.
Yeah, right. You understand what I mean? But a lot of things you gotta see yourself do it before you can try to get other people to bear witness to it.
That's another thing I remember learning here. Question everything you've never seen with your own eye.
Yeah. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So just to show and prove to your own self, right, that you got the power to master the body.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm constantly trying.
Yeah, and it's all different ways. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to the level of, when you see people doing Tai Chi and yoga and all of this stuff, and you see them doing things with the body that you got to train the body to do that. You understand what I'm saying? Uh, you got some of those people that can control what to most of us is involuntary actions. You understand what I'm saying? You know, um, so just to demonstrate, what I'm saying, that you truly the master of self. Fasting is a way for you to begin to demonstrate that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that type of once you discipline yourself like that, right? Other people detect that in you. You see what I'm saying? And they begin to respond to that. You see what I'm saying? It could be anything. If you see a person that, they work out all the time, the discipline that it takes to get into a certain amount of shape, you know what I'm saying? Other people is going to see that and respect that. You understand what I'm saying? Or
Of a certain mindset.
right, or like we talking about certain sports, you know what I'm saying? The people with that discipline, to work on their game or whatever, those are the people that we see them on the court and, we respect them as the greats. You see what I'm saying? So, when you begin to develop yourself, that's when everybody around you is going to see. You're not going to need to explain as much things. You understand what I mean? You might have to, explain the basic terminologies that you're dealing with to people that might be foreign to it. You see what I mean? But people will see the righteousness, they'll see the civilization. You know what I'm saying? They may not, they may not, be in the mindset in order to see the knowledge themselves. You know what I mean? But they can see what it is that you activate. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, fast 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And also, like I said, with everything that happens, right? There's very few things that happen for one reason. You understand what I'm saying? It's a multitude of of factors that go into everything in reality. You know what I mean? So also in terms of uh, you know, demonstrating some sincerity for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of what we call the the book, where you get the lessons, the supreme alphabet, the supreme mathematics, 120 lessons. You know what I'm saying? Uh, we call that life, book of life. You understand what I'm saying? So, when you building with the person is building with you. You understand what I'm saying? They actually giving up their life to you, and much is given, much is required. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, you gotta, you got 9 months to learn the lessons. Because the longer you take, it's like with anything. The longer somebody takes to pay you back your money, the less chance you're gonna get it. That's what I'm saying. Anything, the longer you see two dudes beefing, the more chance they ain't gonna fight. Yes. So it's the same thing with the lessons, man. The longer a person, and it's not impossible. I seen dudes beef for a couple weeks before they fight. You know what I'm saying? But most of the time, that's just the way it works out. You drag it out too long, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them things that it's best to laser in with focus on. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you were saying you play chess, that's something that when you learn it, you know, you might play every day. You know what I'm saying? For a minute until you get it down pat. You understand what I mean? And then even different levels, like you might first learn, but then you might meet a group of people and they all mad better than you. And so you gotta lock in, you might lock in a month or two and then all of a sudden now you on this level. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it's better to do it like 20 lessons. To just lock in, you know, 4, 5, 6 months, you know what I'm saying, and just get it on cap. Because like I said, it's one of them things where, you knowledge is in layers. You know what I'm saying? Like if I say, look, you know, that's a computer right there, right? Now, a 4-year-old can come in here and see that and say that's a computer, but they don't know how to fix it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a different level of knowing the computer. But they could go outside and say, that's a car right there. But they don't know how to drive it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how the lessons is, where, you can look at it and you can say, okay, who is the original man? All right, now I know that means the first guy. You understand what I'm saying? Then you give me this description right here, the Asiatic black man to make the only cream planet Earth, father, civilization, God of the universe. Right? That's layers upon layers that's layers upon layers in the answer right there, right? That you're not gonna get all the way to, right? Until you get through all the lessons. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's one thing to hear and it's another thing to understand it, like to
Right.
really.
But you can't understand it until you got the whole thing on cap. Because remember, understanding comes from knowledge. So if you only got part of the knowledge, you're only going to have part of the understanding. You understand what I'm saying? You need all of the knowledge, and then you need to be able to speak all of the knowledge. And then you will come to an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're going to be that person that's real good with the queen, right? But you ain't got none of the other pieces. You see what I'm saying? As soon as somebody asks you a question, then you're going to turn back into a religious person. You're going to say, well, you know, well, this person over here told me that, you know, I don't really know. So that's what happens when you study and learn things and internalize it. Now, you don't have to say that, you know, like right now, if you know, you gave somebody $5 bill, right? And you're supposed to give back $3 change, and they gave you back $2 change, right? And then they say, well, yo, how you know, what you saying? Two plus two is not 5? And you say no. And they say, well, why are you saying that? You're not going to mention your kindergarten teacher. Because you don't need to do that. And then I know what 2 plus 2 is and what 2 plus 3 is. Get my money. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so by that same token, you want all the rest of your knowledge to do that. You know what I mean? Because if you just knowing something, right? Because somebody who ain't here right now, whether they not on this plane physically or whether they not in the same place with you, right? Then you might as well go back and believe in Christianity, where they tell you that everything was because of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is not, you know, he's not here right now. So what you saying about it? What's your solution to, you know, whatever, like, look, the people over there, they starve. You know, if Jesus was here, he'd take them out fishing and cast the net and feed everybody. All right, but Jesus ain't here right now, so how are we going to eat right now? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Or are we going to sit there and set up home and wait for Jesus to come back and go out and cast the net? So that's why you got to internalize the knowledge for yourself, man, because, you know, at the most basic level and at the ultimate level, you're dealing with a man, woman, and child. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to have the knowledge for your, you know, for your woman and your children. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you're not going to be bringing your woman, you know, your children over to somebody else. Say, yo, could you tell him to make up his bed? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that knowledge yourself. You can't, yo, could you tell her to stop talking loose to me? You can't. That don't really work. You see what I'm saying? So you got to internalize those principles yourself so that you can be the one teaching. You see what I mean? Because at whatever point, right, you gotta be able to take the baton, right? If something happened to me, something happened to Sunyas, right, and this knowledge still has to exist, right? You got to be able to pick up this baton right there and start teaching what we teach. You see what I'm saying? Like when something happened to Allah, you have to pick up the baton right there and start teaching what we teach. And then you have to be able to train the next baton taker. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't, you won your race, but time keeps flowing. You see what I'm saying? You know, just to make it, even more individual, you know, uh, that's what they call like generational wealth. You know what I mean? Because wealth is not just the money. You know what I'm saying? It's also the knowledge of what they know how to do with the money. Because you see a lot of people had, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars wasted because they didn't have, just like we see people that, they parents might have owned a private house, passed away, left them with the house, you know what I'm saying? And they might have lost the house or they sold the house and you got the money, but then they jerked it because they didn't have the wealth of knowledge, right, to go along with the physical wealth to be able to maintain it or even build it up higher.
I gotta read The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah, I haven't read that one. What that's about? The richest man in Babylon.
Wealth accumulation, holding on to it, generational wealth, all that.
Mm.
Good book.
Yeah, but that's what they already, that's something that we see quite often. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that allows for the regentrification of a lot of areas. You know what I'm saying? Had what the dominant factors in being the homeowners and everything, right? They didn't really take the time to impart to their children, you know what I'm saying, that this is
themselves and
yes, and I mean, and then, unfortunately, I don't want to belittle them, you know what I'm saying, their accomplishment. But also they came at a time, uh, especially in the inner cities where you had the white flight. So a lot of them, the way they got their property wasn't always because they was incredibly savvy either. You understand what I'm saying? And so because of that, they never really, you know what I'm saying, and they didn't focus in on, and like I said, we're not talking about everybody. You know what I'm saying? But we explaining why some people might be experiencing hell right now, you know what I'm saying, on different levels of it. Uh, is because they didn't lock in on education the way, you know what I'm saying, like you got people that was poor in the 50s and 60s, you know what I'm saying? But when they came from the army, they got their GI Bill, they got a house, you know what I'm saying? Took their kids to somewhere where the school system was good, and they locked them in on that. And so even though they never really was rich, their kids grew up to be, doctors and lawyers or whatever, professional people. You see what I'm saying? You know, uh, so that's the application of what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Where it's not just about teaching this purified knowledge, but also on how you going to apply it. You see what I mean? In a way like that to your family and your kids and everything, so that they prosper. Yeah, that's some sign. Yeah, usually don't get involved.
You are live streaming right now?
Yeah, we got a live stream the class. So yeah, it's live stream too.
I don't know that either, though.
You know what? It started a teensy bit before that.
I was here, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was here when he had, there's usually a cameraman that comes, when I used to be here.
Infinite.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Infinite. He used to catch some excerpts from my classes. We really. Well, I started a little bit before. Uh, but then, especially once it got to the lockdown. You know what I'm saying? And nobody could, really could come to the school and everything. That's when we really started broadcasting the classes. You know what I mean? So I was, I guess it's a little. Well, I've been actually live streaming like a little bit, like a couple of weeks every year. You know what I'm saying? Before that, there's different excerpts out there, but we wasn't doing the entire class. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at any rate though, you fasted. Well, you said you already fasted.
Yeah, that before.
Yeah,
It was.
because we've had some people that, when they was going to do their fast, they didn't fast very wisely.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you that too. When you say fast, you mean a water fast or just straight?
Yeah, water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be running a marathon.
Yeah.
Look, we had somebody that, he decided to take up like jujitsu or something.
Wow, fast.
Yeah. We had somebody fast like 69 hours or something like that. And then I have no idea, but he stopped, right before he had 3 days. But just generally speaking, you know what I'm saying, deal with, like you said, because, you deal with a lot of mental clarity. You know what I'm saying? That's the time to be, brushing up even on the stuff that you said you got notes that you wrote down. You know what I'm saying? That's the time to read those over. You understand what I'm saying? Get back into that, deal with the quotation, but don't, overexert yourself physically. You understand what I mean? Control yourself, sometimes, right? It means controlling your environment.
Mm-hmm. I believe I heard that here as well.
Yeah, so, like I said, you don't want to, take up Olympic weightlifting. That's not the proper environment for you to be fasting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 3 days was the longest I've ever done. On that third day, though, that's when it hit me the worst. Though that third day was.
Well, see, now look, and these are the mental things. These is where you start seeing that it's mental. It's either the first day, right? It's force of habit. You know what I'm saying? And on the second day, you realize you wasn't really all that hungry. You started like, this is not really bad like that. You know what I'm saying?
Came around the third day.
See, now on the third day, it's the anticipation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wasn't counting.
Yeah. Now you count down. You got what you gonna eat all mapped out. So look.
Now I jumped back into it and hurt myself.
That's another thing. Don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Because see, like you said, it's gonna hurt because your stomach actually shrinks back down. You know what I'm saying? All those Thanksgiving meals and, Christmas meals and, times, when you went to the restaurant and the food's mad good and, all of that stretch your stomach out. You know what I'm saying? So then when you don't eat, then, your stomach shrink back down. You know, uh, I knew a brother that, now he used to fast, but he built up to that. He fast like 7 days, 10 days, you know. But then when he came off the fast, he had eat like soup, you know. And like he was so used to it that he wouldn't be like, yo, he eating soup like this. It'd be like he just, but he built up to being able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but yeah, that's what that is. That, and see, this is the kind of thing that you start learning about yourself. You see what I mean? When we say knowledge of self, when you get the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Uh, you get the knowledge of the generic original man. You see, everything that is telling you in those degrees, you know what I'm saying, or everything you might hear brother say when he's standing up in front of the rally or standing up in front of the class, that don't mean that applies to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like what it says, the maker and the owner, you've actually got to make something in order for that part to apply to you. You know what I'm saying? You've actually got to be the father of civilization. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and see, being the father, you know what I'm saying, of civilization, you got to remember that's dealing with, right now, let's say you have kids, right? That's not the first kids ever, but you're still the father of them. So by the same token, if you go out there and you do things that's based on ignorance and emotion, embellishment, and all these things, then that's what you the father of. It didn't mean that it started with you, but that's what you the father of. That's what people know you for making born in whatever cipher they know you from. You see what I'm saying? But if you go over there and you deal with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and don't be a savage, right? Then they'll know you as the father of civilization. Like, when our brother started coming around here, we started noticing, other cats started, what I'm saying, behaving a little different. You know what I'm saying? Or when that brother started coming around here, the old ladies, they never needed help with their bags no more. You know what I'm saying? Because he always helped them carry their groceries or whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's what you would be the father of. But, when you first get into knowledge, you may not be the father of civilization everywhere you go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Depending especially upon what you was doing before you got to the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But and so that's what I was saying, that you have to have the knowledge of self, right? And your true abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. So there's certain things, right? That, like I said, when it comes to being the maker and the owner, maybe you do have things that you made and own when you came into the knowledge, right? But then you might not be so strong in being the father of civilization. You understand what I'm saying? So you know that, okay, this thing right here, in terms of you made it and you owned it, all right, maintain it. Add on to it. But then, so that point right there, but now you got to bring the father of civilization part, you got to bring that up to bring it in balance. You understand what I'm saying? So, because see, like I said, being a father of civilization, you could make your own something, that thing could be negative. You understand what I'm saying? Like you made a lot of money and bought a car with rims on it, you know, selling the wrong kind of substances. You understand what I'm saying? So you wasn't necessarily the father of civilization doing that. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe now though that you got, you know better, so you do better, right? Now you might take that currency and invest it into something else. You understand what I mean? That's positive. Now you bring that into balance. You understand what I'm saying? You know, uh, you know, being God of the universe. You know what I'm saying? You know, at the time when you get your knowledge, you know, you might be, you just got a handful of things over there that you do. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you might be good at basketball, like you were saying, right? So, you know, people know you, on the court or whatever, right? But you don't really have the knowledge to do that in all the different worlds that you go in. So see, you're not God of the universe yet. You see what I'm saying? Until you can go and manifest your knowledge and wisdom, you know, in every step that you take. See, when you're able to do that, see that's what I'm saying. A lot of these things, if you just come in and you just assume that you everything that it says on the paper, right, without really examining yourself, right, then you just brought your religious mindset over here. You understand what I'm saying? Where you just assume that Jesus is the person who they telling you in the scriptures. But like you said, it's not shown the proof. But those is all the levels that I said. Like I said, see, like, right there, I was speaking from the knowledge degree, but a lot of these things, it's all over the degrees that I was drawing certain keys from in order to get that understanding across to you. You got to build yourself up. See, like, look, even when it says, right, 7, right? See, everybody that come into the knowledge is not on a 6. See, everybody assume that they're already on 6, right? And then once you get the knowledge, you're on 7. No. Some people come into the knowledge on 3 and 2. And then they got to actually put in the effort, you know what I'm saying, to master all those planes of their own energy so that they can manifest to the fullest potential who they are. That's the science that we dealing with. You know what I'm saying? No matter, you come to whoever's class, you come to how many service class, right? Only thing we can really tell you is that you got it. And don't get me wrong, we could break it down, right? And tell you all these other things, that kind of it shines the light. You still got to see it for yourself. It's like the facts is over there, and I'm just here with a flashlight showing you, see the facts right there? But there's something inside you, right, that's going to cause those facts to mean something. You see what I'm saying? Like, why do people build buildings, right, and dogs don't build buildings?
The understanding of how to do it and the mindset to think and the way to do it.
Right. they don't have supreme intelligence. You understand what I mean? That means that it's something about us, something that's inside of us that really can't be seen by the naked eye, right? That causes us to be able to understand the laws of physics and chemistry, right? And be able to make different substances that could withstand, the elements, at least to some degree, different structures that can withstand the force of gravity, the force of the wind, all of these things, and even be able to understand those concepts is what we have to master in building a structure, right? That's a part of the supreme intelligence that we have. You see what I'm saying? And so, when I'm showing you the facts, right? That's just something that's stimulating the supreme intelligence in you to come out. You see? That's why I tell people, see, our common terminology that we use, right, for passing this knowledge on, is we say, we give you the knowledge. But really, we bring it out of you. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I don't, a lot of other people, they feel bad, but that's because you like this person. You got, you got people that look, they like somebody, right? And they want this person to have the knowledge, and they wondering, yo, man, I don't know what it is. I can't give this. So you can't give them nothing, man. It's not in them. There's no there. You trying to bring somebody to somebody. It ain't in them. You know what I'm saying? And so, for me, I don't feel no kind of way. If I tell somebody signs, it must not be it. You know, you can spark your lighter. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't no paper there. It ain't so. It ain't nothing. Yeah, it ain't nothing to catch. It ain't nothing for that spark to catch on to. You know what I'm saying? And really become a blaze. And that's what we're dealing with, man. When we're dealing with different people, man, and we teach them the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We just telling people things that stimulate their supreme intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And then, giving you the lessons, we building with the lessons, all of this starts to make your supreme intelligence come out. We can help you practice that. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's all dependent on you. You see what I'm saying? And see, our people is by extension the world. You see what I mean? Because the world, they watch us. They watch us, they do what we do. You know what I'm saying? They follow our lead. If we break a barrier down over there, everybody runs through that barrier hole right there. Whatever it is we do, everybody else do. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta realize that us breaking all these barriers, right? It's the only we can do it. A shark is not gonna come out the water and save us here on the land. You know what I'm saying? People in Arabia, they got their issues in Arabia that they got to save themselves from over there. People in Canada, they got their issues in Canada where they got to save their people over there. The only people that's coming to save any group of people is somebody that come from those people. Somebody who's born from those people who have an understanding, right, of what it is that they lack in terms of freedom, justice, and equality, right? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, food, clothing, and shelter, love, peace, and happiness, right? And by the same token, somebody, who's been trained in a way, right? They've been educated in a way that they could have a vision to see where the promised land is so they can lead their people to it. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you look at the people who, came to our aid, offered some type of salvation to us, it was always our people. You see what I'm saying? Whether it was Harry, Tubman, whoever. And so by that same token, everything that we see that's going on, that we might say, all right, yeah, this right here is not just. The only people that's going to make it just, right, is going to be one of us, And by one of us, that could also mean all of us. So, that's why it's imperative that each of us get to a point where we can stand on the square. You know what that means?
No.
See, standing on the square means you're perpendicular to the ground. See, when you sleep, right, or you dead, you 180 degrees. But when you stand, you know what I'm saying? And so when you see different people that's in different states, uh, you know, uh, somebody's they're popping up downers. See, they hunched over. You understand what I'm saying? Or even when you look at at animals, you know what I'm saying? One of the things that distinguish man from all the rest of them is walking upright on 2 feet. You understand what I'm saying? And so all the rest of the things that's different degrees of hunched over, right, don't have the supreme intelligence that I was talking about to be stimulated in. Because they got life in them, but they don't have, even when you see the pictures, even, I don't really, I'm not a proponent of this, but, when you see the pictures of man evolving, you know that a little bit more straight until it gets to my, you see what I'm saying? And so being on a perpendicular, you know what I'm saying, that means that your supreme intelligence is activated as opposed to you being at various degrees of uncivilization. So, this is within the lessons, it's got several things with steps and stages like that, whether or not people see it. You know what I'm saying? Where you actually gotta get your hammer and chisel out and build on it yourself. You know what I'm saying? All the way from in some ways, you know, you know, in order for a lot of things to get built, you gotta have some demolition too. So sometimes you gotta have demolition of different ideas that you may not have even realized that you internalize from being, you might not have been into it, but just being in a religious family. You understand what I'm saying? Certain ideas, uh, we realize we might have to destroy those. You know what I mean? And certain ideas we might have to be introduced to, and certain ideas we might already have, but we need to develop it. You know what I'm saying? That's you know what the lessons is supposed to be about. These what is be righteous, smell good came in, but yeah, we had a pretty good session in here today. Um, Hopefully everybody did the each one teach one. Hit the like button on the way in. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Um, Make sure you share this on all your other pages, your Facebook, your Twitter, so we can get the alerts out. Do we have any questions over here in the room? You know, of course, I'm usually so crystal clear. I'm usually so crystal clear in my presentation. I'm usually so crystal clear in my presentation that I don't have very many questions. But do we have any questions in the room? Before we sign off. I'll let y'all formulate that for a minute. Of course, y'all know we'll be on tomorrow. Probably have some avocado slices. Man. See if you missed it. I think this was we had a pretty good uh session today. But any questions besides what did I miss? King medallions. Oh, this is this planet, this PA right here. Powerful Jabbar. What's the signs? What's the signs, G? Yeah, we just was in here, you know, having a class session right here, building with the young brother. You said going vegan. I ain't going vegan. Yeah, no doubt, powerful. You know what I'm saying? We was just getting ready to sign off. We was getting ready to sign off, man. I was just seeing if there's any last minute questions. I don't know. We had a side rally going on. We had a lot of people today that just stayed in the background, didn't say much. Did what they were supposed to do, the knowledge before the wisdom. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the people who check the live stream while they at work. You know what I'm saying? No doubt, God, there's peace, man. Love you too. You know, but yeah, peace to all the brothers and sisters that check out the live stream while they at work. So, of course, I know
it's difficult for y'all to comment in the live stream. Other than that, we will be back tomorrow. I think pretty much the same back time, same back channel, approximately 7 o'clock. So I guess we thought that was it for today. Like I said, if you made it this far in the live stream, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the notification button if you want to know when we're coming on, and share this out on your other channels, on your Facebook, on your Twitter, in the groups, in the text messages, etc. Because yes, it, it appears it's about time to go anyway, because this looks like we freezing up here. You know what I'm saying? But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.